Welcome to Jake and Trev Review Everything Live.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Trev. And you're joining us here once again for week 17. Wow. I'm losing count. We can blame my substandard education, but I cannot count much higher than this, Jake. You're gonna have to take over here.
All right, I'll grab my abacus.
Mm-hmm.
Abacus.
Abacus. And
Abacus.
get back at us.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, first things first, you're probably asking yourself, before you came on the show, and even more so now, Jake and Trev, it's Wednesday, where's the goods?
Listen, a good chef knows when a meal is done, and this video meal that you're going to feed your face with is, it's done now, but it took a little extra time, but it's totally worth it.
We're not going to nourish you with some half-baked horse trash, okay?
Yeah. Ain't no horse trash.
We're going to serve you up some fully baked horse trash.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That's the only way we do it around here.
We make our horse trash to the fullest.
When it's done, it's done. And as a matter of fact, it is very nearly done now. As a matter of fact, as I glance over to my left, I can see that it is still rendering, but it's getting there. It's real close.
Absolutely.
We're hoping that we're going to probably just, as soon as the show's over, we're just going to beep, boop, boop, and just go ahead and export it and send it right over to Blip.
Yeah. Hey, if it gets done sooner, we're going to be doing that, because you'll see firsthand us getting the video to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll step right off here and start exporting and everything.
We're like delivery
You'll be
men.
like, where's Trev?
Sexy delivery man.
Being a sexy delivery man for you.
Somebody ordered a package.
Corey Miron joining us, thank you.
Hey.
Welcome, Miron. 38.
Sup?
You're not 38.
Alright, let's launch right into it. Why don't you start us off, Trev?
Okay, so many of you, when you think of dynamic frontman of a band, whoa, you getting some power ups?
No, I restarted my phone, and it's being a butt.
See, and it's this kind of thing that makes people not question that we don't have our stuff out on Wednesday, Jake. You're such an unqualified.
Listen, the phone that I have sucks. I just turned the ringer off. Okay, so there's.
It was a good phone when I sold it to him. It was a good phone when I sold it to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, when you think about a dynamic frontman for a band, only a few names should really jump out to the front of the list, and one of them is Freddie. What?
Right.
Freddie Mercury, the frontman of Queen, who we lost in 1991 due to complications with AIDS.
Oof.
And rough business. Back at a time before anyone really still had a firm handle on it. Back before it was the thing everyone had to know about.
Yeah.
And it's really was a
away
loss.
before his time.
Easily. We could have had years and years of great hits. Imagine how the 90s would have been with Queen still around, rocking it out.
That'd be sweet.
A little bit sweeter. But, here's the thing. Musical biopics, they happen all the fucking time. Why hasn't one been done about Freddie Mercury? Where's Freddie's biopic?
That's a really good question. Where is it?
It's not here. And what's worse is that it's not going to be here anytime soon. In recent time here, Sacha Baron Cohen had been tapped to play Freddie Mercury in the Freddie Mercury biopic.
I think, and he's a good, you say the name, and I'm sure that a lot of people are like, oh, the guy who did, like, Bruno and Borat. And it's like, no, he's a serious actor. No. He was in Hugo. Mm-hmm. He was in Les Miserables.
Well, he's pretty goofy in that, but sure.
Right.
I mean, he's not just a clown,
Right.
And he's got the right kind of look. He's got the right kind of electricity. I think he could have done a great job, but he's passed. He's passed on it. He's not doing it.
Right.
It's over. It's over. So, the biggest problem at this point facing the Freddie Mercury biopic is that you need somebody who's going to play Freddie. Who's going to play Freddie? I say it's Jake. Jake, you should play Freddie. Mm-hmm. Why not? Sing us a song. Sing us a song!
No, that's
Mick Jagger. He's doing Mick Jagger moves, and jeez. And there's...
I got the moves like Jagger.
Oh. going to be one of those kind of nights, everyone. It's going to be one of those kind of nights. So let's all lament here a little bit and say, boy, we're really missing out by not having that Freddie Mercury biopic.
You know who should be Freddie Mercury? Christopher Lambert. Wouldn't that just blow your mind?
I'd be pretty surprised. I wouldn't see it coming, admittedly. Okay, so let's take a question. We have some questions.
Do we have questions? That's good. That's a good question. I'll take that question.
Do we have questions?
If you guys got questions, you should give us your questions so we can answer them with answers.
But we have some questions. I'm looking at them.
We have 3 questions from Josh Reines. Listen, guys. Straight talk. Straight talk with Jake talk. All right?
I'm going to back off here.
It's serious time. Even if you show up to the live show, and you can ask questions here too.
Please do, as a matter of fact.
Encourage your friends and family and mailman, your sexy mailman, to ask some questions on the Facebox. We're on Facebook.
Send them over to us.
J&TRE review everything. Speaking of which, we have 200 viewers.
200
views.
Likes. 200 likes.
200 views.
No, 200 likes. A lot more than 200 views. 200 likes on the Facebook page. That's our bicentennial. It's a big thing. Yeah. I'm impressed. I don't know if you are. I hope you are.
Yeah.
But this is one of them milestones.
Yeah.
I'm personally not going to really count anymore until we get to 500.
Oh, I think you can't go. It doesn't work backwards. You don't just get all the likes and then people unlike you until the people that don't want to unlike you.
I think you knew what I was saying, and now you're just being difficult. Oh, sure, just sulk. Just sulk over there. Sure. Can we ask a question? Can we get a question here, Jake?
Yeah. Josh Reines says, will you love me tomorrow?
I want to love you, baby, but you treat me so bad. And you treat Jake so bad. Jake?
You treat me so bad.
I mean...
We want to. We want to,
but you're not letting me. Or him.
All right.
Great question.
Next question. Josh Reines. Which did you like better, Space Ghost Coast to Coast or The Brack Show?
Well...
That's tough. I think they're different shows, though. I'm going to toe the line just like I do all the time and say that Space Coast Coast to Coast...
You can't compare things with other things.
Well, they're not really... I mean, they're the same animations, a lot of the same characters. A fair amount of the same characters. But one is an episodic show and the other one's a talk show. That's like saying, which do you think is better, frickin' Ben 10 or The Daily Show?
Listen, I'm here to tell you that you can compare apples to oranges.
I know you can, but, if you're asking me to pick my... if you want me to pick my favorite, then I would have to say The Brack Show.
The Brack Show. Now, why is that, Jake?
Because it went a long way to set up the Adult Swim. I really enjoyed it. The 3 hams will thrill him. 3 hams will fill him.
Why don't you feed him 3 hams? No, it's really good stuff. Now, I'm going to counter and say that the Brack Show and all the other Adult Swim stuff that came would not have come around if not first for Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
That's fair.
I mean, and it's...
I think that show was ahead of its time, too.
Well, certainly.
If you watch it now, I mean, Trev and I, in high school, we watched a lot of Adult Swim, and that's, I don't know if you noticed, but some of our humor is derived from that a little bit. I think we take a lot of our inspiration from that kind of humor, and, but then again, Space Ghost to Coast was doing the same shit, 15 years earlier. 10 years earlier.
Right.
A fair amount of years earlier.
Many years earlier. And, it was a little bit more varied of a program, I feel, than the Brack Show, just because, because they have celebrities, you get kind of different conversations, and, I'd have to give it to Space Ghost.
Yeah. That's fair.
So, Jake's wrong. All right, let's move on. Nikki Manti writes, what do you think of Bryan Cranston possibly playing Lex Luthor?
I mean, it's a big step to go from slinging blue rock to slinging green rock.
Ooh.
Wait, let's see if you got
one. God no, I'm out. I had nothing in the chamber. I was just gonna talk, But
that's to be honest, that is that kind of frames up how I feel about it. Bryan Cranston's only recently, within the last few years, become popular because of Breaking Bad. If it wasn't for Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston would still be the dad on Malcolm in the Middle.
Right. If we were having this conversation, in
an alternate universe,
six
where Breaking Bad just
6 to 8 years ago, right? And someone's like, "Well, what about Bryan Cranston for Lex Luthor?" Malcolm's dad, get the fuck out of here! No, but he's portrayed a menacing bald man, and so they want him to play another menacing.
Who do we got that's a menacing bald man?
Michael Clark Duncan.
That's fair.
I mean, he can play the Kingpin.
But he because he's disqualified. He already played the Kingpin.
Flag on the play. It's DQ'd. He was already the Kingpin. No. I'm really optimistic. I really enjoy Bryan Cranston in Breaking Bad. He scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, he's terrifying.
And actually hearing him talk about it, if for those of you who don't know, he's been kind of lobbying himself for it.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. This is just a slight track. It's gonna work around on a similar path to the main track. And then it's going to join up like a mile down the road. Ready? Okay. Here's the thing. What you're seeing a lot more these days are people who are actors who are like, hey, I'd like to play this, and like being serious about it. And sometimes it happens, and that's kind of neat. Like where we have these recognizable fictional characters from adaptations that's like, well, I'd like to play that. But only if it's specific. Because you get these people who are like, I'd like to be in Star Wars, and that's just bullshit. Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, everybody wants to be in Star
Wars. Who are you going to play, dummy?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back on track. It's really good stuff. He's been lobbying to be Lex Luthor, and he's also said, I think Lex Luthor's kind of a cuddly sort of guy. I'd have a lot of fun there. And it's like... It's statements like that.
Bro, do you even Lex Luthor?
Where it kind of makes me give pause a little bit and saying, man, now I really want to see what he's going to do. And if he calls Lex Luthor cuddly, is he comparing it to the blackness of Walter White?
Yeah, is that what he's trying to say? Like, oh, that's cute that you're a supervillain.
I'm a meth dealer. Yeah. If that's what he's getting at. No, it's one of the best casting calls out of the DCU that I've seen in some time. So.
Yeah. That's, and I guess what people aren't asking, about that, what people aren't asking that kind of bugs me, and I've thought this before, I didn't just have this thought. It's a thought that keeps popping into my head, but nobody seems concerned with it, so I just kind of leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Lex Luthor's going to be in Batman vs. Superman?
Mm-hmm.
That seems like a really odd platform to set up your main villain.
I got it. I have the answer. Because all of the other people, or almost all the other people that Superman tangles with on a regular basis, are much too overpowered to be throwing at Batman. But Batman could fight Lex Luthor fairly reasonably, as he's just a man.
I guess they're both, multi-billion-dollar.
In fact, they're kind of like, opposites,
Yeah.
Like through a mirror darkly. That's a phrase. By the way, Todd Jake Selvis, we do not steal from Aqua Teen Hunger Force all the time. That's called cribbing. And everybody does it.
Oh yeah, Michael Clark Duncan is dead. I forgot about that. That makes me sad. Thanks, Dad!
You've ruined another moment of Jake's happiness. I blame you for telling him about. I've been working so hard to keep Jake in the belief that Michael Clark Duncan was alive, and now you've just shattered it. And for what? To tell us that we were wrong? Who are you, sir? Oh, you're Jake's dad, right?
Yeah,
Sorry, that's your dad. I apologize.
No, we did. No, yeah, he's dead. Michael Clark Duncan, fucking dead. I just slipped off the table there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we do. It's all pratfalls on this show.
Hey,
can I open this up?
Yeah.
I didn't even read this article. I'm just gonna read this line because I read it really quick and really fast. This line for the next thing we're talking about.
Let's hope not too fast, otherwise you might have read it wrong.
Yui Ball wants to make Portal 2 into a movie?
You read it wrong. That was close, though.
Did I?
Yes. No.
I would watch that movie because it would be the worst thing ever.
Well, I mean, it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility, as he is famous for ruining video games in the transition to the medium of film.
If you don't know about Yui Ball yet, let's inform the audience
do you even Yui Ball?
Because you shouldn't.
Don't.
Nope.
Do not.
It's funny for a little bit. He made such movies as House of the Dead and Blood Rain and Blood Rain 2 and In the Name of the King.
Mm-hmm. And Postal.
And here's the deal. Postal was kind of terrible. I think the only good thing was that they had Dave Foley.
No, the only good thing about Postal was when Yui Boll appeared in the movie, and as a character of himself in the movie, admitted to financing his movies with Nazi gold. That was the only good thing about that movie. But since Jake read it too fast, let me tell you what's actually happening. He wants to make Postal 2, and nobody wants to give him the money. He's run out of Nazi gold, and so now he wants you to pay for it. If you're looking, I mean, I know you guys are connoisseurs of superior Kickstarter campaigns. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten turned on to ours.
Right.
But you should know that he wants to finance Postal 2 with Kickstarter.
You know, Kickstarter is not for you, Yui Ball. Kickstarter is not for a lot of the people that are using it.
Yeah, it's
not.
Can we
come to a general consensus?
Hold on. Let's be frank here, guys. It's not for you, Veronica Mars. It's not for you, Yui Boll. It's not for you fucking guys who are already in the industry, who already have people who will pay you to make stuff. And you're gonna get fucking people, like regular people, to finance your fucking dream project when you're already in the fucking business? Get out of here!
Get the fuck out.
No, Kickstarter's for people, who haven't had a shot yet.
Yeah, that's the whole point. It's like, hey guys,
I can't get funding from a studio or something else. Can we all as a community come together and do this? And maybe I'm a little sore because Veronica Mars got picked up and Firefly will never be a Kickstarter project. Or maybe I'm a little sore because we didn't make our Kickstarter. But the fact is that it's just abusive. And so what you're going to see is these movies being made, and I guess they're probably, if you're doing high enough on the Kickstarter, you'll get like a digital copy of these movies or whatever before everyone else. But it's like then they still get to go around and make a movie and then turn a profit in the theaters or not or whatever, you know?
Well, a lot of... And I mean, you might counter-argue and say, well, a lot of the methods that are, traditionally used for that kind of medium, going to the theater... Obviously, we talked about this on another live show. The big budget movie bubble is going to burst. Mm-hmm. It has to. So, we've talked about that and how it can't sustain itself, and which is true. And eventually, that may become the norm. People just crowdfunding their stuff and saying, "Wouldn't this be cool?" But that also excludes new IPs. Mm-hmm. If you sit there and say, I'd love to see Veronica Mars movie. Here's my money. To, show up and take my money. But then somebody's like, well, I have this whole new show that if you liked Veronica Mars, you would really like. Mm-hmm. And I want people to fund that. Never heard of it! Fuck off. then, how that's the whole, people present you with things on like Kickstarter and Indiegogo and stuff, and they say, hey guys, I have a new idea for this thing that I want to do. I mean, and we need the resources to create this. And in return, you have pledge donations, like we'll give you a copy of the thing or the art or the, invention or whatever. But it's really not, you get a piece of it for yourself for donating, but also, you're helping somebody to get up in the world. When Fox comes to Kickstarter and says, we want, apparently people like Veronica Mars, we don't want to put the money in it and invest it, then that's Fox's fault,
Mm-hmm.
They're basically playing with the fans at that point, like, oh, why don't you guys just fucking pay for it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's entirely different. They could have made a movie, but because the option was open to go on Kickstarter and be like, let's make a Veronica Mars movie for no cost to us.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Now, I'm going to counter the argument that we just made, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Mighty Number 9.
Oh my god. I don't know if you guys heard about this, Mighty Number 9.
Here is, I think, really, honestly, no, cynicism, no sarcasm. This might be something worth supporting, although I don't think they need any of your help by now.
Yeah. Well, this is one thing, and maybe you could say the same thing about Veronica Mars. I guess it's a slippery,
It's a slippery slope.
It's kind of difficult because Keiji Inafune, the guy who created Mega Man,
the Blue Bomber,
yeah, the IP that Capcom decided to put by the wayside because they're stupid.
Yeah. The thing is not to take a break here from what you're saying, but to let me fill them in. Mega Man is one of the most beloved franchises, and there have been a number of Mega Man projects in recent years that have gotten a lot of the hardcore fans very excited. Very excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of them was basically like fan created.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was a whole bunch of fans that got together. How about this boss? How about that boss? How about this item? How about, this thing in a level or whatever? They all got together. They worked on it. They weren't just making suggestions. They were working on levels and working on designs. And, like, it's a step further from crowdfunding. They were creating it together, know? And then Capcom was like, fuck that shit.
Mm-hmm.
We're done.
So yeah, Capcom has pretty much made it clear they're not interested in making Mega Man anymore.
Which is crazy to me.
Well, they're really interested in doing Devil May Cry, making a new Devil May Cry. The new
a new rebooted Devil May Cry.
That's
Here's
right,
the thing.
totally different.
You know what's never really been rebooted? Fucking Mega Man.
Wow.
You know why?
Why?
Because it's awesome. In fact, it's so awesome that at some point they were like, all right, we need to, make a second series called Mega Man X.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
split it.
And they both were continuing series. It wasn't like, oh, let's dump this one and do this one. I think what happened, to be honest, personally, what I think happened was probably Battle Network.
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't a bad game. Battle Network was kind of fun. But they took that game and basically made like a million iterations of it. And every time I see those games at like a game store or something, it's always like, we're just getting rid of these. Mm-hmm. Too many of them. Too many sequels. They saturated the market with a Mega Man nobody wanted. And then like 9 and 10 came out for live, right? And everybody loved that shit. And then Capcom was like, oh, we're done.
We're not interested in pursuing that anymore. So... You'd say his name, because I won't.
Keiji Inafune.
Close. Inafune. He created Mega Man, he loves Mega Man, and was basically told by Capcom, we're not making Mega Man anymore. Sorry. So what he's done is, him and many creative partners who have previously worked on Mega Man with him, they've gone on the Kickstarter, and they've created a new game called Mighty Number 9.
And it's oh my god! Just look at it.
Look it up. It's I was reading the summary of what it's about, and it's about a group of robots in the Mighty series were all made, and a bunch of them started going nuts and killing people and stuff. Except for Mighty Number 9, who is not crazy and wants to stop the other ones. And so it's a side-scrolling game where he moves from left to right and he shoots at the bad guys with like an energy gun. Mm-hmm. And when he defeats the robot bosses of any given level...
Wait, hold on. Let me stop you right there. When he defeats the bosses, does he get their powers?
He does get their powers. Okay. But this is not Mega Man. This is Mighty Number 9. No, but I guess, you know, I didn't get into Veronica Mars, so I guess I'm maybe I'm not supposed to be the one here talking about it. And maybe that's something that there was a really big dedicated fan base who were just clamoring for it. They wanted more. I've known people who and this was the only way it could have happened.
Yeah.
But with Mega Man, when they're like, well, we're not interested in making Mega Man anymore, now he's taking it into his own hands, and he's going to make the game that everyone wants, and if we have to give everybody alternate names where they're definitely not Mega Man...
Yeah, no,
that's what he should call it! That's what he should call it! Definitely not Mega
Man! Definitely not infringing Capcom copyright. Right. We're not doing that here, guys.
But yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, no, it's... That's if I had any disposable income, I'd probably throw some bucks at that. They have some really cool like rewards and stuff too. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, we've talked about it long enough, but just check it out. Check out the Kickstarter.
But yeah, I'm really concerned with where Kickstarter's going as a whole.
Yeah.
Final statement on that.
Into the hole.
Also in movie news, Marvel's The Avengers 2, The Age of Ultron. It's gonna be huge. You're gonna see it. Some time out still. Mm-hmm. But some of you may be saying, who's Ultron? Well, Ultron's a robot, and he's way evil, and he's going to try to take over all the Earth.
Yep.
And
he's a robot.
I don't know. Have we explained Ultron to our audience?
Yeah, I think so. Briefly, Ultron in the comic books, and they're not going to do this because, brief aside, side karate! Ant-Man is going... Whoa! Ant-Man is an Avenger, and his movie right now is being created by Edgar Wright. Mm-hmm. Of such movies as...
Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End.
Yeah.
Or rather, unsurprisingly, a lot of people are like, so you're going to cast Simon Pegg as Ant-Man, as Dr. Henry Pym? But in the main continuity of the Marvel Comics, at least, Dr. Henry Pym, Ant-Man, also created Ultron, a robot that he created based off of his own brainwaves. But then it kind of went nuts and tried to kill everybody and take over the world.
Yeah.
And since they're not introducing him, Dr. Pym, before Age of Ultron comes out, they pretty much already stated that they're going to go a different route in what the genesis of Ultron is. I'm guessing Tony Stark. I'm guessing this is going to be Stark's fault. Maybe he's trying. Maybe he tried to make an automatic Iron Man to go and save the day as Iron Man without him.
I think if any of the good guys are at fault for creating Ultron, my guess is Shield.
Yeah, that's probably pretty likely too.
Because they made or they didn't make him. Wasn't there what was Graviton?
Graviton. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a new, recently there was an Avengers cartoon on TV.
It's the older one. It's not the one that's on right now. It was the one that was on before.
Right. And then at some point S.H.I.E.L.D. was like, yeah, we got this Graviton guy. And then he, levels New York.
Anyway.
But yeah, they're known for being, secretive.
They're an intelligence and espionage organization.
They're like the CIA for superheroes.
Right. So, here's the thing, though. And he's a robot, and they're probably going to do him almost entirely in CG, if not entirely in CG.
I hope not.
So, they've cast Ultron.
Yeah.
And I would have to agree with Marvel. When I think of crazy powerful and crazy maniacal, evil, face melter robot guy, I think James Spader. I'll let that sink in for just a second.
He's got a really good voice. I don't know if you're
Jackson from Stargate?
Yeah, dude. No, he's got a really he's got a really good voice.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And that's, assumedly, that's the strength
right,
of the
it's not going to be a robot with James Spader's body.
It's not going to be like it's not going to be like R2 or C-3PO. It's not going to be like Anthony Daniels and some like armor and like trying to move around and like passing out from heat stroke.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's
no.
But yeah, he's got a pretty silky smooth voice. He was in I don't know why, but every time I think of movies James Spader was in, I think of Secretary.
Who?
Secretary?
What?
It had Secretary.
Who? I've never heard of this. What's it about?
It's basically...
Hold on. Let me guess. Is it about a secretary?
Yes. It's a slightly erotic movie.
Ooh, a little sassy, a little steamy.
Basically, James Spader hires a new secretary. It's Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Mm-hmm.
And Maggie Gyllenhaal is really into S&M, and so is James Spader, and they,
Oh, so they start doing like crazy S&M stuff?
Yeah.
Like a subordinate to boss sort of thing?
Yeah.
I wish I could use what you just said as a segue to talk about something else.
I don't know if I set it up right for that. I'll get some coffee. We'll figure it out.
50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey is, as many of you know, the mommy porn that has swept the nation over the last couple of years. And it's chock full of BDSM, people getting tied down and whipped. And I understand the main character refers to his BDSM chamber as the Red Room of Pain, which is kind of
unoriginal. I just want to say that's really unoriginal.
It's really unoriginal, and it's pretty over the top. You who are you, the Marquis de fucking Sade? No.
Nobody beats Jeffrey Rush.
Nobody beats Jeffrey Rush. Okay, so many of you were probably thinking over the last week, man, everyone's getting kind of bent out of shape about this Ben Affleck as Matt Damon, or excuse me, as Matt Damon, yeah. No, Ben Affleck as the Batman thing. But recently, Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy fame, which is a well-liked program. He's kind of a bad boy in it, and apparently he's been cast, and there's been an enormous backlash from the fans.
It's like the reverse of a mass panty drop. It's like a mass panty
drop. It's the
that guy,
the great panty hoist of 2013. But no. And here's the thing. Here's really the problem. Why I'm assuming, and why I've heard the argument put. Why everyone's so up in arms about this. Number one, he's kind of like a gruff-looking dude, kind of like rough and tumble.
Yeah.
And apparently, as 50 Shades of Grey started out as a Twilight fanfic.
That's what I was gonna say.
He's supposed to look like all porcelain and like fucking flawless skin and angelic and shit.
Can I interject here and just say, can we just say fuck it and get the people that were in Twilight, because that's how 50 Shades of Grey got started in the first place?
It seems only fitting. In fact, I say that we capture them and force them to make the 50 Shades of Grey movie. With or without their option, But no, so yeah, a lot of people are getting upset because he's a rough and tumble guy, not all angelic and cherubim or whatever. And number two, this...
All right, we're going
to get into the bed for a second.
Yeah, we're going to get into some mommy-daddy words.
Take them out of the room. Take them out of the room. We're working a little blue here tonight, folks.
Get your kids the fuck out of here.
Okay, we're going to give it about 5 seconds. I'm going to drink some coffee, and I'm going to give you opportunity.
Okay. The ladies are double-clicking their mouse over this book. Mm-hmm. And
that's what it's for. It's for finger diddling. Okay, yeah. I mean that's what we're gonna say. And the problem is that all these massive fans
that are going to town,
flicking the bean, right? I mean, they're just going to town with this. And while they're doing it, they've already pictured somebody as the guy.
That's the ghost man from the book that's in their brain.
He's Ian Somerhalder. That's who I want to be the guy.
I think it's Charlie Daniels. Like, who gives a shit? Whoever it is. You know, like that's who the person, like the person reading the book is fantasizing about a person in their head, whether it be like somebody they've seen in movies or TV shows or an entirely made up person. It's the same with any book, but I think that it's more personal because, you know,
here's the thing. I'm a fan of comic books, okay? And so when somebody casts something that's questionable to me as a fan of comic books, I'm a little upset. But I've never masturbated to a comic book before, so I guess I could see why they're getting more upset, because like now it's like now they're ruining their masturbation fantasy.
Right,
you know?
Right. You know, when you go fishing with the man in the boat,
right?
And you know, and it's some other guy, then you know. Then you're drinking, buddy, and you're casting the line, and this analogy's gone too far.
So yeah, people are really upset. It's kind of funny. I hope we didn't lose anybody with our. Okay, we're safe. We're back. We're back.
You can bring the kids back out.
Come on back.
Fuck shit, bastards.
We're only gonna work regular offensive now instead of
naughty words
and masturbation jokes. Okay. So yeah, that's
the thing. You know, yeah. No, I don't want to get into it, but yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's like I said, it's ruining people's fantasies. That's why people are upset.
Everybody, Trevor and I made a meme earlier of Wilford Brimley. It's just a picture of Wilford Brimley, and it says, "They cast 50 Shades of Grey wrong."
It's like, yeah, that's who's upset about it. Okay, so now we're going to talk about, I was over at Shortlist earlier today. Shortlist.com. No, .com, and they have a pretty nice list of the 20 most overused lines in cinema.
Start from 3.
Now,
you can see the whole list yourself. We'd like to do the top ones.
We're going to do the top 3 according to them. And these are all lines that you've heard in a million movies.
In fact, they have the movies. Like, it's not just conjecture. They have a list of the movies the lines were used.
And it's probably not even close to complete.
No, not even. Like, this is probably just, some people were like, I remember that was a line in this and that. I feel like it was probably like a Fahrenheit 451 kind of deal, where somebody's like, what about this line? Oh, I remember it in that movie. And somebody else is like, oh, I remember it in this movie too.
Oh, yeah.
There's no conclusive database of, like, lines for movies.
Right. So, number 3 in the top 20 overused movie lines list, she is gonna blow. It's gonna blow!
She's gonna blow!
You hear it all the time.
And then something explodes.
Look, if someone's going to explode, phrase it differently. Don't just say it's going to blow.
Yeah. It's going to explode!
See, that it's a little cumbersome.
Be aware, there's going to be a disaster!
There's going to be a chemical reaction with an explosive property. Anyway, number 2, he is right behind me. Isn't he/she?
Yeah. He's right behind me, isn't he?
Oh, like who's still laughing at that?
Like when people are like, I think this person sucks. They're right behind me, aren't they?
Is it a baby fresh out of the womb that's laughing at that? Because I think everyone else has fucking seen that one and heard it to death. And according to them, the number 1 most overused.
Let's give them a second. Let's hear your guesses. I mean, don't go to Shortlist right away. But what do you think is the most overused line in movies? Let's hear your guesses on this one.
I'll tell you this. This one is on the list. It's not as high as I would have thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. And I recently had seen a montage of all the times that it has appeared in movies that that a certain guest could find. Now, Jake is... By the way, I'm going to stop right in the middle of my story and tell you what Jake is doing right now is he is exporting Episode 2, Season 2 of J&TRE Review Everything. We're exporting it. Jake, make sure you put it on the right settings.
Well, that's what I'm...
All right, we're tag out, and I'll put the right settings on there. All right, we're tagging out, so get in.
Ooh. All right. So, let's see... Let's see what the next thing is. What were you talking about? I don't remember.
I don't even remember. I'm too excited about the episode.
Oh my god, you guys! This is going to be great. What... in addition to your guess as to what the number 1 overused movie line is, what do you think is going to happen in this episode, you guys? Oh, here's a thing that Trevor was getting all up in arms about. And I'll start, and he'll probably be back here in a second to throw down on this one. But apparently, and I don't know, to be honest, I live on Hulu and Netflix. I'm sure I brought it up a million times. I don't have the dollars to be buying them discs with them movies on it. Mm-hmm. So...
It's exploring now. It's a done deal.
We're getting it rolling right now.
It's a done deal.
Whew. But, so they have movies, obviously, since the invent of the DVD. Actually, they had them for VHSs, but, not a lot of people really gave a shit. You had, extended cuts and, special features. Special features. Commentary, extra scenes, deleted scenes, bloopers, whatever. It's all on a DVD now. You go to the menu, you watch a movie, you go back. Special features. I don't need to fucking explain special features.
What are special features?
What are special features? Anyways, apparently, different stores, and here's the thing. Let me preface this by saying that this isn't the first time that a store has offered exclusive content for anything. Mm-hmm. A lot of Skylanders came out, in recent memory, the things I'm thinking of are Skylanders, some action figures, they come out in specific stores, like Target exclusive or whatever. Even with the Wolverine movie, I know that there was a Deadpool action figure I really wanted that was only at Walmart or some shit like that.
Or video games with GameStop or so forth. Same thing, special stuff only for buying it here.
Well, you gotta get it here. But now they're doing it with DVDs, where it's imagine if you will, the release of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which is something like 12 weeks of content back to back.
It's a long time.
Yeah. What if they section that into portions for each store? So not only did you have to buy the Lord of the Rings trilogy DVD box set at Walmart with the exclusive...
Which comes with exclusive featurette A.
Yeah.
But if you're a big fan, if you're a real fan, you also gotta go to Target and get the same thing, but it has exclusive featurette B. But wait for it.
Wait.
Best Buy also has an exclusive version of it with exclusive featurette C. Okay?
So you gotta get all the DVDs to be a true collector.
If you want all the content.
You gotta catch them all. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Now, I can understand if a store releases it early before any other store, or if the DVD is only available at a specific store, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but it gives them an edge. I could see that. But saying they're available everywhere, but this one has the specific deleted stuff or featurette or whatever. Featurettes suck. Mm-hmm. Anyways, for the most part. There's not a whole lot of really good featurettes. I'm saying it right here. You heard it here first, folks. Jake?
Not a lot of good featurettes.
Not a lot of featurettes.
But to split them up between a bunch of different stores, it's more of this attitude. I've been saying it for a while. I've probably said it on the show, probably at least twice. But look, businesses have to learn we're not just a bunch of big, stupid walking wallets walking around that if you shake us hard enough, we'll cough up a few more bucks. That's not what we are. That's not, I think for the most part, everyone is literally already throwing enough all the money down toward entertainment that they can.
Oh, yeah. No, entertainment, we have a show based on entertainment. Our show is talking about all of the entertainment.
Right.
Because there is a lot of it. Not to get political or, blow up your worldview or anything, but in America, entertainment is a huge freaking industry. We're already throwing, you have a budget. I imagine that a lot of people have a budget for their entertainment, for DVDs, for games, for TV.
Comics, for
even
action figures.
If you pay for cable, you have an entertainment budget.
Right. So, that's the thing.
Internet.
Nobody's sitting around thinking, gosh, I just wish there was more things to spend money on.
Yeah. And it's ridiculous to think that people are just holding out because of that.
Have you heard about Disney Infinity? This is a related topic. Disney Infinity, so what you get...
We're talking about Skylanders.
Sure. It's similar. It's Disney Skylanders, basically. In both of these games, what they do is they sell you a game disc that, in in times apparently long gone by, in a far, far bygone era, you used to be able to buy a disc and then play the game.
Should you do the used previews?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But now, with like games like Skylanders, the content's there, but you can't unlock it. Well, why not? Because you haven't bought this extra figure.
Yeah.
Because you have to buy the game, which still costs $60, by the way.
No, it's still a $60 game. You get one figure with it, which is enough to just play the game with.
Mm-hmm.
But then, and you know, it's for kids. It is truly a game for kids. Apparently, it's somewhat entertaining, but it's more dumbed down. If you want, like, Final Fantasy 13, this is not the kind of game that you should be playing.
No.
But, yeah, it has different figures, and in order to play as that character in the game, you have to have that figure, and then you set it on the little thing, and then, you play as that character.
It's got a little portal of lights coming up.
And it's very sneaky. It's very sneaky. Because what happens is if you're thinking, like, I don't need to buy all those other figures, technically you don't. You can play the game without all the figures. But at some point, you'll get an item, and it'll be like, this is an item for this character. So you can keep it, and it's nice and shiny.
But you can't use it.
Super great. You can't use it. You have to have that figure to use that thing. So you're like, man, like, if I got this sweet drill, whatever, and if I had this robot guy, I'd be able to use it. So you go to the store and you buy the robot guy. And you play with the robot guy for a while, and you get another item.
Right.
Ad infinitum.
And look, fact checkers, if we get some small minutia here about how exactly the process works in the game, forgive us, because neither of us are wasting any money on this horse trash.
But they're doing the same thing with Disney, basically.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing: like, you buy the disc, and what you get is a Jack Sparrow figure. Mm-hmm. And a Mr. Incredible figure, and I believe a Lightning McQueen figure.
Yeah.
Or no, Mike Sully from, or Mike whatever, no, Sully from,
Mike and Sully.
No,
Sully of Mike and Sully.
Yeah, the second, the latter.
The big blue guy.
From Monsters, Inc.
Right.
So you get your guys, and then those are your characters that you can start to play with. So, I mean, hey, on a premium, they're giving them 3 figures right away.
Yeah.
And so then you can get into their individual worlds. But first off, Lightning McQueen also has a world, the Cars world. You can't go there. You need Lightning McQueen. Guess what? You want to play 2-player, right? I mean, who doesn't want to play 2-player?
Yeah, I want to play some co-op.
Well, you're gonna have to go and buy the Sidekick pack.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they can't give you Mike with Sully. That's a separate purchase. You can't have. Who's the other captain from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Captain
Jeffrey Rush?
Squishface?
Yeah, no, not the Squiddy guy. The other one. Yeah, Jeffrey Rush. Anyway, he's Captain Barbossa. Yeah, he's Jack Sparrow's sidekick. By the way,
if you're playing the home game, that's 2 times we've mentioned Jeffrey Rush. Mm-hmm. So make sure that you write that on your card. Mm-hmm. The points will be tallied later.
Mm-hmm. And so I mean, it's just this setting up blockades between you and the content that you used to get for free.
The whole game. Let's mention this for the most part, and this is very true, and it's kind of fucked up. The whole game is on the disc. Every little level and piece and game, like weapons and items and levels and everything. That's all right here. You paid for it. You paid for a disc with all the shit on it, but you can't use all of it. When you purchase it, like you said, you get 3 figures. You get to use 3 little slices of that pie. Their levels, their items, their stuff.
But none of the extra stuff.
No.
And that's the thing. It's not extra! You bought it already!
Yeah.
And they just want you to buy it again. I work at a place that sells it. That's all I'll say. If you know me personally, you know where I work. Okay? You know how many...
Trev's getting revved up like Steve McQueen. Like Lightning McQueen right now.
Dude, like, parents come up and they're upset. The parents are visibly upset. It's like, I gotta get this for my kid. My kids are asking for it. I gotta get... Have some fucking willpower!
Well,
don't buy it. You have to take a stand. You have to... No, stop. You have to take a stand. You have to take a stand and say no. I'm not buying this cash grab. Disney is depending on your weakness and your inability to say no to your children, and is trying to bilk more money, trying to squeeze some more out of that wallet of yours.
Well, I agree with that wholeheartedly, but I also think that it's more than just that. I mean, obviously...
buy them fucking Scribblenauts, and then they'll be fucking playing with words.
Oh my god, that thing is awesome.
Buy them a full-fledged game.
Well, just as well as I do that. When we were growing up, there were a lot of things that everybody was getting, and if you didn't get... Think about Pogs.
Hey,
Pogs was
Mom, you're on you're right here. What happened when I asked you to buy me a brass slammer because I needed a brass slammer if I was going to compete with the serious Pong players? You told me no because it was too expensive and I didn't really need it.
Yeah. No, that's true.
It's not an obsolete response.
Saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay, that they do that kind of stuff. I think that, kids should be able to play and have fun and have their toys and stuff like that. But yeah, this is really over the line when, games are already $60. That's crazy. And then you add all that other stuff in and you're like, oh, well, you have to buy another figure and this other figure and you got to buy this, whatever the pack you were talking about. That's all really ridiculous. All right, let's do the number one overused movie line. Dad said, "I'll be right back." Actually, I believe that's on the list. That's a good guess. Let me find it here. No, it is not on the list. Number 20 was, yeah, you better run, which is kind of fun. No, number 1.
I'm okay. I'm alright. I'm alright.
Trevor ate his Wheaties today.
My goodness.
Good God.
It was pent up for a while, and I was just waiting to stand on a soapbox where somebody was listening.
No, well, yeah, because that kind of rampant demand really does create people that are just obnoxious about it at that time. If you've worked in the service industry, if it's the hot thing that needs to be had, if it's your Tickle Me Elmo or your Cabbage Patch or your Nintendo 64 or your Nintendo Wii or pretty much anything Nintendo, it's a holiday thing or a must-have thing, parents will just look at you with that desperation like, I will shiv you if I can't get this thing. Mm-hmm. And it's ridiculous. It's, it's crazy. Buy a new car, but brakes and steering wheel cost extra.
Hey, that's added features. I mean,
those are extra features.
If you want them.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The number one overused movie line, according to shortlist.com, is that all you got?
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 Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. And earlier, and it's on the list, I was mentioning earlier, I saw a great video. It's a shitload of instances of, you just don't get it, do you?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one before.
You just don't get it. You don't get it, do you? Like,
you just don't get it.
You don't get it. People, you don't get how often that is used unless you watch the video.
You just don't get it, do you?
Don't die on me.
Hold on. Yeah, you just don't get it, do you? Is number 8.
Number 8.
Yeah.
You just don't get it.
You just don't get it, do you? Yeah, no, that's pretty classic. How's the episode going, Trev?
I'm gonna take another breath while I'm off screen here, and we'll find out.
Oh, real quick. This is kind of important. It is important. The Upper Michigan Beer Fest is this weekend. It's on the 6th, or the 7th. Whatever Saturday is, it's a date. What was the day? 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th.
Okay, I got bad news. It's alleging it's going to take about 3 hours and 50 minutes, but it's lying to you. It's lying to us, and it's lying to you. It's going to be up sooner than that.
Anyways, Upper Peninsula, Upper Michigan Beer Fest. I don't know what is it technically? Is it the Upper Michigan?
We'll say Upper Michigan.
Upper Michigan Beer Fest. It's in Marquette. It's in Lower Harbor. Every year, they have a sweet beer fest. All sorts of craft brewers from around Michigan show up with all their beer.
Mm-hmm.
fun story. I got to go last year thanks to my cousin Eric. He got me a ticket. He got me in, which was awesome of him. And I got really blasted. And while I was doing so, Black Rock's Brewery had a few kegs special for the occasion.
Just for that?
Yeah. And I was right there. And the mayor of Marquette, the town we live in, Marquette, Michigan, the mayor of Marquette tapped a keg, totally got to have like the first drink from this keg.
Served a beer by the mayor of Marquette.
Like, how awesome is that? That's pretty cool.
Pretty baller.
I'm going to tell my kids about that.
But yeah, it's happening this weekend. Big event if you like beer.
Oh yeah.
And
last year, here's the thing. Last year there was a small pamphlet filled with all the beers. Like, here are the brewers, here are the beers. It's like a checklist. I mean, obviously, even last year, like, it was a fair amount of frickin' beers. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of like a scorecard to see what you were drinking. They give you, like, if you don't know what a beer fest is, besides the movie by J&TRE, I tried. Basically, they set up booths. They all bring their own beers. You can go up. You have a cup. They give you a cup and some tokens, and you pay some tokens to get your cup filled. You drink it. You go somewhere, pay some tokens, get your cup filled. It's like a food fest or any other fest if you've never been to a fest of that sort.
Right. So there are going to be lots of great beers there, and
absolutely.
As an executive producer of Peanut Butter Disaster, our production company, Jake's one too. But as an executive producer, I surely wish that we had somebody that we could send there to really get a full scope of things.
We do.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Actually, in fact, we have a reviewer of beers.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it called?
If you guys are not aware, Jake and Trev make Jake and Trev review everything.
We're just the big brother. We're the big brother of a little family.
I would say, yeah.
Or if we're gonna go with a family, we're the proud papas. We're the proud papas.
Well, that's the thing because Rhinus does a show called Black Shirt Beer Review, which is under the umbrella of Peanut Butter Disaster, and his shit is great. If you love beers, if you love getting into beers and knowing about beers and checking out reviews of beers, Black Shirt Beer Review. It's on YouTube.
You gotta check it out.
On Facebook. We link their videos a lot on our Facebook page.
Because we're pals.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. If you like beer, that's one. If you like reviews, that's two.
Boom.
If you just want to see more of Jake and I on the internet.
We're in a few episodes.
We're in a lot of episodes, actually.
And in some episodes, we get shit-faced.
It's true. You
want to see us drunk? Beer review.
I would say that there's a good chance that there are anywhere between 5 and 10 episodes that have one or both of us in them.
Yeah.
All kinds of bonus content for you. That's 3 reasons that you should be watching Black Shirt Beer Review. And here's reason number 4. He's going to be our roving reporter, our cub reporter on the scene at the Upper Michigan Beer Fest.
He's got his own, I feel bad. Here's the thing. I feel bad like being like, oh, he's our son, we're his dads. I don't really feel that way.
Yeah, no, we're just giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
I know he's going to watch this or is listening right now.
And he's just like, you fuckers.
You guys, no.
You motherfuckers.
No, he's our pal, and
he does a really good show.
He has contributed.
I mean, I'm not trying to SSD right now, but his show is really good.
It's a good show. And, he's been a pivotal member of the Peanut Butter Disaster team. We're lucky to have him.
Oh, absolutely.
He's going to be there at the Beer Fest this weekend, trying out all kinds of tasty beers from all over the place. And if you see him there, if you go there, say hi. Say hi, tell him you loved the show. Maybe have a few words with him. If you don't like him, punch him in the gut,
No, don't actually.
Well, okay, well...
Because he will headbutt you until you die. He will headbutt you until death. If you do that, so don't.
And there may be other people from the Peanut Butter Disaster family there hanging around at Beer Fest as well. See if you can spot some internet celebrities.
Yeah. See if you know about the peoples that doing the shows on the internet.
Okay. Now
you have kids, Jake? No, I don't.
Okay.
I meant like in the future when I have children, I will tell them about that. What's
your champagne brand?
Santana champagne. Oh no, Santana.
The champagne was not Corbel's. Oh my. Yeah, probably Corbel's.
New York City!
That is kind of the feeling we get. So yes, when I think bubbly, I think Corbel. Okay, so now we are running down on time. We got a minute left. We're gonna go through the lightning round. Okay, Hayao Miyazaki is done, you guys. He's the wonderful creator of Studio Ghibli.
All the anime that you've heard of.
All the really classic, great anime that you've heard of. My Neighbor Totoro, Nausicaa and the Valley of the Winds.
For kids, but not for
Howl's
kids.
Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke. Fabulous stuff. He's not making it anymore, you guys. So we're all, if you like a tip of our hat, doff of the cap to you, sir. We're going to be worse off without you. Detroit is getting some love, you guys. For once, Detroit is where they're going to film the fucking Batman Superman movie.
Can I burst your bubble?
No.
They filmed part of Dark Knight Rises in Detroit.
But they're going to film this largely in Detroit.
Oh, largely in Detroit. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Because the second movie, Dark Knight, Chicago.
Dark Knight Rises I thought was supposed to be done in Pittsburgh largely. Anyway,
whatever. Okay.
Anyway, they're getting some really nice
other cities. Detroit.
No, they're going to get a lot of subsidies from the state's film council, basically incentives to do stuff here in state. So they're going to be doing some filming in the Detroit area. A lot of it, I understand, as well as some other areas around Michigan. So. Superman and Batman coming to Michigan. Good stuff.
All right.
Big
Brother. Apparently, Trevor pulled this up. I'm gonna. Can I do this one really quick?
Sure.
Just based on the title, somebody got evicted from Big Brother for being racist. We talked about this a few weeks ago, actually. Apparently, Big Brother is just full of racists, and somebody actually got called out on it. Congratulations! You're on a show that has all sorts of recording devices and cameras and microphones, and you thought being racist would be okay. You're wrong. Get the fuck out.
But Erin Grease was evicted and said that she's racist. That was part of why she got kicked out, because she says terrible racist things. And her defense, Jake, what's her defense?
Her defense was, I'm not racist. I'm just Texan.
Oh.
So anybody that likes Texas out there, remember, people use that.
That's someone who's trying to, who's painting a picture about your state.
Imagine if you, like, we live in Michigan. If somebody was like, I'm not racist. I'm just a Michigander.
I mean, whoa! Get out of here. Don't lump me in with you.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's
next thing.
Final thing. The final thing. Some evil genius.
Genius should be underlined and also italicized.
I wish it was me. Some evil genius is taking pictures of Taylor Swift and putting Hitler quotes on them.
And then
posting by Taylor Swift. And then posting it up on the internet, and all these tweens are this.
Smart.
Oh, she just thinks of the greatest things. And it's like, you like Hitler. You're a Hitler supporter now.
Whoops.
Good job. Whoops, you like Hitler.
And somebody did it in reverse and put Taylor Swift quotes on Hitler, which, is... I don't think it has as much of an effect, but if you know about the first thing, I think they go hand in hand.
Right. I believe the one that sticks out in my mind is... I'm a hugger. I think the world would be a lot better if people hugged more often. Adolf Hitler. So that'll wrap it up for Jake and Trevor Review Everything. Excellent lightning round. Next week we're going to get back to a couple more regular features, including Person of the Week and also the return of What's in the Box. Join us next week, guys. See ya.
See ya.